Item 7. Approve a policy concerning procedure to be followed by individual board members who make requests to administration staff for documents and/or information.
I requested this item to be put on the agenda. I'm concerned about the fact that we have one board member who is making numerous requests for information of the CEO. I don't know how many requests have been made, but I count 10 in 10 days. There may be more, and I just don't think that should be allowed. I think there should be some kind of policies on this board. If all of us were to do that, Ray wouldn't do anything all day long but provide information to us. I think information should be provided to the board as a whole, and the board should decide if and when it needs information, and that one member of the board should not be allowed to do that. So I want to open some dialogue.
Well, for my 2 cents worth, occasionally, since I'm not at my computer all the time, and blah, 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 sometimes I'll say, hey, Paul, can you send Ray an email and see if we can figure out what's going on with X? And so I would agree, Paul does quite a few, but I know that some of them that he sends are things that I've asked him to send.
Okay, the list of things I have so far, and I'm asked Ray if I even cover them all. There are emails exchanged back and forth between Paul Harper and Ray concerning email exchanges with attorneys. That was on January 18th, 19th. On 21st of January, there was a request of Ray to provide the times that when he contacted the hospital's attorney. On the 23rd, there was a request for documentation and training on Facebook. On the 23rd again, there was a request for open government training proof on the CEO and the administrative assistant. On the 26th of January, there were requests for all management positions salary. On the 27th, there was a request for what websites were filtered, if I understand this correctly, from people being able to access them from their computer at the hospital. On the 27th, there was a request for wheelchair use in surgery policy or outpatient surgery. Again on the 27th, a copy of the code of conduct policy. Again on the 27th, contact info for Dr. Turk. And January 28th, applications for board election. And I don't see a pattern here. I don't know which ones you want to accept as having asked him to get for you, but this is ridiculous, gentlemen and lady. This is absolutely ridiculous. And I consider it to be nothing but harassment, Mr. Parker. It's nothing but harassment. You couldn't get him fired, now you want to harass him until he leaves. I'm not going to stand for it.
So I guess the question here would be, is all 10 of those as the board secretary, or are some of those as a private citizen that's asking for things as far as open records?
Those are from Mr. Harper as board secretary. And let's just call a spade here. I know I'm not going to get anything done on this, because if it comes up to a vote, it's going to be 3-4 and 4 against, guaranteed. Okay? But even if we pass it and say it's got to go through the president, then Mr. Harper can just go home and tell his wife, Deb, that she needs to start making them, and he will tell her what to ask for.
Point of order.
I'm sick of it.
Point of order. Mr. Hankins is referencing other elected board members' spouses. I think that's highly uncalled for, non-professional, and outrageous.
Can't handle the truth, can you?
I think it would be a good idea to move back to the topic, is basically we have to allow the people that are running the hospital to run the hospital. And there's got to be some way to come up with a reasonable amount of information or a certain time that we get request information, or a way to manage it more reasonably than an email train that just keeps going and going and going.
The ones I listed, Ray, I'd ask you, were there any more that I missed?
I've been asked for 16 pieces of information.
Since our meeting last week?
No, since Mr. Bartlett came back before. Here's a request, one request had 4 different items on it. I've been asked for 16 pieces of information since January 16th.
Any other board members request anything under their name?
Yes, Chip was asked for a couple of items. I thought they were entirely appropriate. There's a reason for, well, there's a reason why he wanted them, and he gave a reason, and I thought they were entirely appropriate.
So if we've identified a problem, does anybody have a solution?
It's to, go ahead, Mike.
Mine?
No,
I just know in the past, kind of, whatever, Friday at 10, there was a meeting between Ray and the former board president to kind of go over all of, at one time.
Mhm.
I wasn't a part of those, so I don't know how well they worked, but I just know that was something that went on in the past. It was a set time, kind of every week, that the meeting was held to address the questions or anything that might come up.
I'd be happy to do that. I'd be pleased to do that, matter of fact.
Well, and as far as us doing that, we haven't necessarily had like a Friday morning, 10 o'clock deal. It's been, where I've said, you know, hey, I'll be up there after a while if that's okay or whatever. Sometimes you just drop by, and if you're there, you're there, and if you're not, you're not. But
I agree.
But I would also consider that that should probably be a set time. I mean, again, we're back to, we're trying to
Right.
let the people that are trying to run the hospital run the hospital, and I think it would be much more appropriate for that to be a set time.
I would say that if you guys want to funnel everything to Chip to ask Ray, I'm fine with that.
Well,
Ray and Chip are going to meet on a regular basis and discuss all these issues, and it's going to be a regular, consistent meeting, not, then I'm fine with going through Chip to get what I want.
well, of course, because he's gonna ask what you want. It needs to go through the board, Paul. Now, I know y'all got 4 votes and we got 3. Let's just call a spade again. So you're gonna get what you want, but I'm bringing it out in the public of what's going on, and it needs to stop. So it needs to go through this entire board in some form or fashion, not just somebody that's gonna be a puppet for you.
I think in that case, you're trying to rewrite the Public Information Act, which fully states how, why, and which way to request documentation from your district.
And I'm okay with something like that, because what's happening to me right now, is I feel like that whenever I get a request, I feel like that has to be my priority of the day, that I have to take care of that issue before I take care of anything else. So if there's a request for information and, and if there was a period of time when before I was expected to respond, I knew what that was, that'd be very helpful. If there was, again, some limitation on the quantity, I guess would be nice too, but also some flexibility in terms of when I'm expected to respond back. With the request for records, I understand what that is. I mean, that's very specific, required to respond in a certain amount of time, and required to do that. So,
And I would say that I am playing catch up, so I suspect this is going to slow down now that I've got most of what I want to see.
Catch
In
up?
the last 4 months, that I haven't been able to look at it, so.